on, good people? Yeah, I'm a little early. What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? I'm just acting silly. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Lisa's Real Spill. And you know what we do over here. We just keep it real. Keep it simple, keep it real. Listen, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so it says all. Make sure it says all. So if not go live, you will get notified. I hope y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? I hope everybody can hear me. Because I don't know why my thing been acting up. I don't understand it. I don't, my camera thing. 1 minute it's on there and then the next minute it's not. I don't know what's going on. But can y'all hear me? I hope everybody can hear me. Listen, I titled this, Who Are You? Who are you? Who are you? Mm. That's what I'm going to talk about for a minute. Mm-hmm. Who are you? You know, we all need to look at ourselves. As we move through life, as we moving through life, we should all look at ourselves. Okay? And look at ourselves and pay attention to what's going on within us. Okay? Because let me be clear. Let's be clear about something. Whatever is going on within you is showing outside of you also. The thing of it is that some of us don't pick up on it. We don't. We don't pick up on it. But you should start paying attention to you. The things that you do, what's going on within you, inside of you. Okay? Because those things are important, very important. And let me tell you why. They are important because if you don't pay attention to those things, your life can end up in turmoil, chaos, confusion. Okay? So, you really need to pay attention to self. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't want to deal with. You know, I talk to so many people and they never want to deal with self. Hey, Killer So Crazy. How you doing? They never want to deal with themselves, right? So many people I have talked to, right, on subjects like this, and they don't want to talk about it. And if they do talk about it, they don't go deep. They don't go really deep about it. You should be able to have a conversation about yourself. And I'm not talking about surface shit, right? I'm talking about stuff that's really, that you've been carrying around inside of you, right? Because some of us got trauma that we've been dealing with for a long time. And we still haven't healed from it yet. And I'm a firm believer that if you don't have your shit together, how you think your life's gonna turn out? If you don't put your own shit together, we gotta, you know what I mean? You should be focused on self from the giddy up. You should be focused on you and what's going on with you. You understand what I'm saying? You really should. And everything that's connected to you will be all right if you're all right. You should be concerned about how you treat yourself. Yeah, you should pay attention to the way you treat yourself. Because some of the things that we do to ourselves, we think it's okay, but it's really not. It's just that you done got used to doing those things, right? And they done became comfortable for you. But they really not good things that you should be doing to yourself, right? Are you one of those people that you seem to take care of everybody else, but nobody takes care of you? You understand? That's just one example. But I'm just saying, we got to start taking care of ourselves more. We got to start tapping into ourselves and getting to know who we are. Because some of us, we have done, listen, some of us have paid attention to so many things, right? We don't even know who we are. Some of us don't know, some of y'all don't know who you are. You think you know who you are. But if you really took the time out to tap into yourself, right, you're going to find out a whole lot of shit that you ain't even know. You know why you didn't know? Because you don't take time out for yourself. How many of you that people treat you any kind of way and you don't say nothing? You just deal with it. That's because you don't love yourself. When you truly start loving yourself, you're going to set boundaries. And you're not going to let people cross those boundaries. Okay? You're going to start, when you truly start loving yourself, you won't let people treat you any kind of way. You ain't going to let it happen. But we let a lot of things happen to us because we really don't love ourselves. But we're not looking at it like that. We don't look at it like that, but that is the truth. Just like when people be in relationships where they going through domestic violence, right? Part of that is because they don't love themselves. That's how a lot of people get caught up in things like that, because they don't love themselves. And what ends up happening is that by that person beating on them, they start to think that that's love, that that's what love looks like. You know? Yeah, that's how some people get caught up into that, because they don't really know how to love themselves, and then they walk into a relationship and they start to think that that person is so in love with them and crazy about them. That's why they beat on them. You know? They really start thinking that that's love. That's why it's so important for you to get to know who you are. Get to know who you are and start to love you. So, you know what I'm saying? Because you can end up in so many different situations from not loving yourself. And first of all, let me tell y'all this. Love don't hurt. Let's start there. Love don't hurt. If someone really loves you, they are not going to do things to hurt you. Love do not hurt. And love is an action word. Okay? A person could tell you all day, every day, baby, I love you. You know? But he ain't showing you shit. He or she just telling you that shit. But they ain't showing you that they love you. You know? So that's why it's important to tap into yourself and find out who you are and what you all about. When I first started on my journey, right? When I got clean and I started out, healing on my healing journey and stuff. Let me tell you something. I did not like me. Because I was a bitch. I can admit to that now. I was a bitch. You hear me? And it wasn't cute. And it wasn't a flex. But I got like that because once I got clean, I was going through a whole lot of other stuff. And so the bitch came out of me. You know? I was a straight up bitch. I ain't take no shit. I would cuss you out and fight you too. And I had to get myself together. I said, oh, I don't like that person. I got into an altercation one day and I came in the house and I sat down. And after it happened, I felt so bad. I felt bad, y'all. I did. Because I kicked her ass. It was like a beast woke up in me. And I kicked her ass. And I mean, I kicked her ass. Like, seriously. And afterwards, I felt bad. I felt bad. I really did. I felt bad. That's when I knew, when that happened, and I came in the house and I started to cry, right? And I really felt bad. I did. And her face was messed up and her eyes, and it was just messy. And I said, I came in the house and I was bawling. I said, Lord, please forgive me. I said, I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have did that. And I prayed about it and I cried. But then I got up and I went and looked in the mirror and I said, it's time to make a change. You know? Because if I'd have kept on, somebody would have probably hurted me or even killed me, Lord forbid. But it could happen, right? Because I would just go into a rage. You know? And it wouldn't even be that serious, though. It wouldn't even be that serious. But it was just, that's the way I was at that point. That's just who I was at that time, you know. But I started, you know, working on myself and stuff. I had to make some changes. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy, but I did it. But I did it. It was not easy, but you can do it. You can do it. You know, it's all in what you want for you. What do you want for you? And that's what you got to start looking at. You got to start looking at yourself and getting to know who you are and figuring out things that's going on with you, with your inner self. Because a lot of us walk around with trauma. A lot of us walk around with trauma. And some of us has had trauma since we were children. Some of us have had trauma since we were children. And we haven't healed from it yet. And some of us that, you know, had children and everything. And we still dealing with that trauma from our childhood. So you know what you're doing, right? What you're doing is you're passing it along. You're passing it down to your children. Whatever you got going on within you, that's going on in your inner self, you passing it down to the kids. Now, you might not think so. You might not think so. But I'm telling you, you are. You just don't see it. You just don't recognize that's what's happening. But if you got trauma going on in you and you haven't healed from it, you are definitely passing it on down. It's called generational curses. And you are passing it down. I'm telling you, you are passing it down to your children. And see, we don't know that we're doing that because we don't recognize it. We don't recognize what be going on. You know, I met a girl, and her mother was a narcissist. Let me tell you something. I don't mean no harm, but I would have ran for the hills dealing with a mother like hers. I would have ran for the hills, and I wouldn't have never looked back. Seriously. I knew about narcissists, but I had never dealt with one and I had never been around one. Okay? Them people are something else. Do you hear me? Them narcissists is something else. Oh my. She got her an apartment in her name. Well, it wasn't just her name on it, but it was the girl name and her mother's name on it, okay? Why the mother went, excuse me, and had the daughter locked up, right? Told lies and had the daughter locked up, and then went in the apartment and stole money from her, took her passport from her ID, all kinds of stuff. Took stuff she had. She was doing had a business going on. The mother went in there and took her business stuff, her stuff for her business. Oh my. Yeah. Yes, she did. And then turned around and, hey, Queen, what's going on? She said, Miss Lisa, reach out to me when you're done, please. I sure will, baby. I sure will. I sure will. I will reach out to you. But, and so what's her name? So after that, when the girl gets out, she ain't got nowhere to go but back to her mother house. Okay? And the mother is like basically sitting there waiting on her. So she goes to the mother house and asks her, what did she do with her stuff? She said, where's my stuff? My money gone. Excuse me. My money gone. And she said, my stuff for my business is gone. The mother looked right in her face and said, I don't know. She said, well, you was there. The girl that was deleted by child's father. Wait a minute. The girl that was deleted by child's father girlfriend. Wait a minute. Are you talking about the one they found in the car? Oh yeah, I gotta call you. We gotta talk about that. I gotta call. I'm gonna reach out to you as soon as I finish. Oh wow. I didn't know nothing about that one. I thought you was talking about the one where they found the girl in the car, in the Tesla. Mm. Wow. So, yeah, I'm going to reach out to you as soon as I finish, Queen. And so, the mother was standing there, and she said, I don't know what you're talking about. She kept telling her she didn't know what she was talking about. She said, you do know what I'm talking about, because you was there. You was in the apartment. She tried to act like she ain't know what that girl was talking about. Then she told her, you want me to call the police on you? You want me to call the police? Do I have to call the police again? I'm telling them narcissists, I knew they was something else, but yeah, she got that girl put out that house, put out that apartment and everything because the girl wasn't dealing with her because her mother is a narcissist, and so she stayed away from her because she kept having her locked up and stuff, just doing all kinds of stuff to her. So when she got the apartment, she, left her alone. The mother wasn't satisfied. She made her lose her job, everything. She do everything she can to that girl. I told her, I said, girl, you gonna have to leave and leave your mother alone. I said, don't be disrespecting, because I don't believe in that. Even though parents do wrong things to children, they still they gave you life. Okay? So the best thing I think to do is to just leave them alone. You know? I don't believe in um I don't believe in uh being disrespectful to your parents. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Because I feel like when you do that, it comes back. It comes back on you, you know? So I think that you should just distance yourself from, if you got bad parents like that do bad things to you, I think you should distance yourself and just leave your parents alone. That don't mean you don't love them. It's just that if they not willing to change, then you can't make somebody change if they don't want to. So it's best that you just leave them where they at. you know but yeah, it was crazy. That was the first time I ever had been like around a narcissist. you know like it was crazy. It was. And so um I don't know what she doing now, because I haven't seen, strange as it may seem, I haven't seen her or talked to her. And the she might be locked up again. The mother might be done had her locked up again, because I haven't seen her or talked to her. And we usually talk, you know, because I usually help her out, let her come and stay and stuff like that, because I know she going through it. And I'm that type of person, right? I try to help people out. These days, though, you gotta be very careful who you help out, because people are wicked. People are wicked. There's some wicked stuff going on out here. It really is. So you gotta be careful about who you help out and stuff. You really do. That's why I try to stay locked and loaded. You know what I mean? For those y'all, some of y'all know what that means. Some of y'all know what I mean when I say I'm locked and loaded. You have to be doing these times we in now. You gotta keep your head on a swivel, and you can't get caught slipping. You know what I mean? For real. You gotta keep your head on a swivel, and you can't get caught slipping. Because it's really dangerous out here now. And people don't care about you like they used to. And every time I turn around now, I'm hearing about people getting hung. Every time I turn around, I'm hearing about somebody getting hung. Listen, I ain't never heard so many stories of people getting hung. This man and woman was on what's her name, telling their story. Said that their son got hung. The people hung their son, and then turned around and cremated them before they could even go get their son or anything. They cremated them. Yes, they did. Yeah. That's because they probably had beat them and everything, and didn't want you know didn't want them to know what had exactly took place. Yeah. That's crazy. I said, Lord, take the wheel. Take the wheel, Father. He gonna take the wheel too. He done already took the wheel. Yeah. And I heard it's supposed to be another pandemic. It's strange how they already know it's going to be a pandemic. Ain't that something? That's a trip. But anyway, y'all, I done got off track, didn't I? But I just wanted to tell y'all that. Start dealing with you. Let me tell you something. I believe that when you really start loving yourself, right, you can talk about you. I feel like people spend a lot of time talking about other people because they don't want to talk about their self. They don't like their self. Well, I can also say they don't love their self. Excuse me. So they don't talk about themselves. I notice a lot of people do that. They got a lot to say about other people, but they won't talk about themselves. I noticed that. They won't talk about themselves, but they'll talk about a lot of other people. You know what I mean? And I know y'all have probably noticed that too. People, but I've always been the type of person, I could talk about me. You know what I mean? I can talk about me. I had to get on my siblings, my sisters about that. They always was talking about me. I told them, I said, why do you always talk about me? Talk about your own shit. They don't never talk about them and their shit, but they always have my name on their tongue. I said, I know I can talk about me. I have to tell my own story. I don't need you to tell my story. Because you can't tell my story. It's my story and it's for me to tell. And you don't even know enough about my story for you to be able to tell anything. You know, that's what used to trip me out. Trying to tell something. I ain't even know what the hell they was telling. Telling all kinds of lies and shit. It's just craziness. But you never catch them talking about their own self. I don't do that. I talk about me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to talk about other people. I talk about my shit. I tell my story. I ain't supposed to be up here telling somebody else's story. Your story is for you to tell. My story is for me to tell. But I noticed that about some people. They won't tell their own shit. And they won't talk about their own stuff. But they'll talk about me. They'll talk about you. They'll talk about everybody else. There's a lot of people out here like that. That's because they don't love themselves. And they don't like themselves as a person. That's why they don't want to talk about themselves. Hiding all them demons. That's what they be doing. Trying to anyway. Trying to hide all them demons. Hi. How you doing, Sasha, bitch? How you doing? Thanks for tapping in with me. Yeah, I noticed that though. People always got room to talk about somebody else, but ask them to talk about themselves and see what you get. Or they gonna start stuttering there. What? What you mean talk about myself? What you want to know? What you want to know about me? But they'll sit up there and talk about somebody else. They good at doing that. You know what though? I was never a gossiper. I'm good, baby. I'm good. Thanks for being here with me. That's one thing. That's the way I was brought up. My mother ain't play that. Don't be sitting around talking about people. My mother say, don't be gossiping. My mother couldn't stand that. She ain't like that. She ain't like that gossiping. And I'm glad she brought me up like that. You know, not to be sitting around talking about people, stuff like that. If I say something about somebody, it's because it's true. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, if I said it, if I'm going to say it, I done said it to them. 9 times out of 10, if I say something about somebody, I done already said it to them. And if I didn't, I'll say it to them. I sure will. Yeah, I sure will. Shit. That's right. Because if you're going to talk about somebody, had the balls to say it to them. That's how I feel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, tell them. I don't get down like that. But a lot of people do. Yeah. I be like, you just gotta, you know, some people just gotta buckle down and get to know yourself. You know? Now that was a beautiful thing when I started, well, it wasn't beautiful at the beginning. But as I kept on my journey of healing, I got to know myself, and then I started making changes, you know, because I had to accept the truth about me first, you know. Excuse me. I had to accept my truth. I had to accept the truth about me first, and then I started making changes, you know. Hmm. But I'm proud of myself. I've been clean for 20 years, and I'm glad, you know, I'm glad of the person I am today. I really am. And that's why I touch on the topics and stuff, the topics and stuff that I discuss, because I want to see other people make change too. And I don't like some of the stuff that I see people go through. You know, the way people treat each other and stuff like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like to see people kick people when they down, you know? And I just don't like it. And I just feel like if people work on themselves and make themselves better people, then they will treat other people better. But you got to treat yourself right first. You got to learn how to treat you first before you can treat other people good. You know? Yeah, you got to. You got to learn how to treat you first. And I think some people don't believe that. Some people don't believe that everything starts with you. So it depending on how you treat yourself, how you love yourself, right? All that plays a part in how you treat other people. It really do. And some people, I know some people haven't even sat back and thought about that, but it really do. It plays a big part in how you treat other people, based off of how you treat yourself. That's real shit. Because if you don't treat yourself right, how you gonna treat somebody else right? If you don't know how to treat yourself right. That's why some of us end up in bad relationships. We end up in we end up having bad friendships because we haven't done the necessary work that we need to do on ourselves and on our inner self, right? And so by us not doing the work that we need to do, we continue to be that person. And some of us won't change. You know how you see some people and they be, every time you see them, they in a different relationship, and you be like, damn, every time I see him, he got a different woman, or every time I see her, she got a different man. Excuse me. The reason why you see that is because 9 times out of 10, they got a lot of stuff going on inside of them. They in itself is jacked up. You know what I'm saying? And they can't keep a decent relationship because they don't know how to treat themselves. If you don't know how to love yourself and know how to treat yourself, you can't. It's impossible for you to be able to love somebody else or treat somebody else right. It all starts with you. You got to learn how to do you first. You got to learn how to love you. You got to learn how to treat you first, and then you can, treat other people right and love on other people. But you got to straighten out your shit first. And some people don't want to do that. I would hear people sometimes say, damn, I can't find me a relationship. For some reason, I can't stay in a relationship. And I said, well, there's something wrong with you. Oh, I don't think it's not wrong with me. I don't think it's not wrong with me. That's the first thing come out their mouth. They don't think it's nothing wrong with them. I said, okay. All right. If everybody is breaking up with you, okay, something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. Everybody you meet, they running from you or they breaking up with you. Something wrong with that. Something wrong with that picture. But some people don't want to accept the truth. That's what that is. Some people don't want to accept the truth about themselves. If I sat up here and was telling y'all a whole bunch of lies, some of y'all would fall for it. Y'all be all ears. If I was up here gossiping and talking about people, y'all be all ears. Real shit. But I'm talking about shit that can change your life, that can make you a better you. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to see you win. I want to see you do better. I want to see you be better. For real, for real. I love to see people do better. I love to see other people shine. I really do. I've always been like that. Love to see people shine. I love to see people do good, do well. That's just me. Jealousy. I ain't never been jealous of nobody. You got a whole lot of people out here that is. That's sad. But that's how it is. I'm gonna wrap this up, y'all. I try not to do videos too long, I usually try to do them at least 30 minutes, something like that. I try not to do them too long because people don't want to sit and look at no hour, 2 hour, 3 hour video. For real, for real. So I try to do mine at least 30 minutes, But I love y'all. I really do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. I would love to have you. All we do over here is we keep it real. We keep it simple, but we keep it real. Okay? No, I don't gossip and talk about other people. But what I do is I want to see other people heal and become better people. And so I touch on things dealing with self, the inner self. I touch on so many different topics. But it's all to make you a better you. I give you things to think about so you can make you a better person. Because we all have room for improvement. Nobody's perfect, but we all have room for improvement. So, I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. And y'all stay prayed up and keep your head on a swivel. Hey, because it's getting real out here. It's definitely getting real out here in the world. And I will holler at y'all on the next one.